Have you ever felt like your body is quietly telling you to slow down, but deep down, your spirit still wants to move? Maybe it happens when you're getting up from the couch and feel a bit more stiffness than usual. Or when you used to walk to the market with ease, but now you pause halfway to catch your breath. It's a common feeling after 60. Our bodies change. That's just part of life. But here's the secret a lot of people don't realize: slowing down doesn't mean stopping. In fact, one of the most powerful things you can do for your health, your mind, and your independence is something incredibly simple. Walking. Yes, good, old-fashioned walking. You don't need fancy gym memberships, workout machines, or special programs. All you need is a comfortable pair of shoes and the willingness to take that first step. You see, walking isn't just walking. It's actually one of the most underrated, powerful exercises available, especially for people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. It's gentle on the joints, requires no equipment, and can be done almost anywhere. And yet, it works wonders on the entire body and the brain. Let me tell you a quick story. There's a gentleman named Paul. He's 76, lives alone, and used to struggle with low energy and sleep issues. His doctor told him to just try walking for 15 minutes a day. At first, he thought it sounded too easy to matter. But within 2 weeks, he said something changed. He started sleeping deeper. His mood lifted. His legs felt stronger. It was like I woke up, he said. And he's not alone. Because walking doesn't just keep you moving. It keeps you living. Let's talk about one of the biggest benefits, and one that surprises most people: walking protects your brain. You may have heard the phrase, "What's good for the heart is good for the brain." That's absolutely true. Walking increases blood flow to your brain, which brings in oxygen and nutrients, and clears out waste. That helps with memory, focus, and even mood. In fact, multiple studies have shown that seniors who walk regularly have a lower risk of developing dementia. Even just 30 minutes of walking a few times a week can improve cognitive function. That's not theory. That's science. And it makes sense, doesn't it? When we walk, we're not just moving our legs, we're engaging our whole system. Our breathing deepens. Our circulation improves. Our posture lifts. Even our mind clears a bit. Some people say walking is their form of meditation, their reset button. Another beautiful benefit? Walking lifts your mood. Really. It's easy to feel down as we age, especially if you're dealing with loneliness, aches and pains, or the loss of old routines. But here's something amazing: walking naturally boosts your levels of serotonin and dopamine, two chemicals in your brain that make you feel calm, motivated, and more emotionally balanced. You know that feeling when the sun hits your face, there's a breeze in the air, and you're just moving? That's not just pleasant, it's healing. A woman named Clara, 71, started walking again after feeling isolated during retirement. She told me, "It became my therapy. I wasn't just walking my body, I was walking my worries out of my head." It helped her reconnect to the world outside her home, and more importantly, reconnect to herself. Walking is more than just exercise. It's a daily reminder that you're still here, still able, and still moving forward. And here's something else you might not know: walking strengthens your balance and coordination, which is one of the best ways to prevent falls, a major concern for anyone over 60. It's not just about building leg strength. When you walk, you train your body to stay upright, to respond to uneven surfaces, to shift weight smoothly from one foot to the other. Think of it like this: every time you go for a walk, you're sending your brain a message, "I've still got this." And the more your body believes it, the more confident and secure you become in your movements. So many people think, "I'm too old to start now." But the truth is, it's never too late. Walking meets you exactly where you are. If you can only manage 5 minutes today, that's perfect. 5 minutes is better than none. And tomorrow, maybe you'll go 6. The key isn't distance or speed. It's consistency. You don't need to impress anyone. You don't need to hit 10,000 steps. You just need to start where you are and build from there. And the best part? Walking doesn't just benefit your body. It brings rhythm to your day. A walk in the morning can set your tone. A walk after dinner can help with digestion. A stroll with a neighbor might be the best conversation you've had all week. So now that we've explored how walking sharpens your mind, lifts your mood, and strengthens your stability, let's take the next step and discover what else this gentle habit can do to improve your life in ways you might not expect. Now that we've uncovered how walking benefits the brain, mood, and balance, let's take a deeper look at something just as important: your heart. Your heart may be small, but it's doing the work of a lifetime, literally. And after 60, one of the best gifts you can give it isn't medication or strict diets. It's movement. Gentle, consistent movement, like walking. Every time you go for a walk, your heart starts working just a little more efficiently. Your blood vessels open up. Oxygen flows better. Blood pressure begins to stabilize. Over time, walking can reduce your risk of heart disease, lower bad cholesterol, and even help regulate blood sugar. And here's what's truly encouraging: you don't have to walk fast or far. You just have to walk regularly. A simple 20-minute stroll around the neighborhood a few times a week can make a bigger difference than most people imagine. I once met a retired mechanic named Joe, 79 years old, had heart surgery in his 60s, and was told to take it easy. So he started walking every day after breakfast, just to the mailbox and back at first. Eventually, it turned into 2 blocks. Then 4. Now, years later, Joe says his morning walks are better than coffee. He feels stronger, clearer, more in charge of his own health. That's what walking does. It gives you a sense of control. It reminds you that you're still the one steering the wheel. And while we're on the topic of circulation, let's not forget another surprise benefit of walking: joint health. I know, it sounds a little backwards. If your knees ache or your hips feel stiff, you might think walking will only make it worse. But here's the thing: movement is what keeps your joints alive. Literally. Your joints don't get nutrients from blood flow like most parts of your body. Instead, they rely on synovial fluid, a special fluid that moves into your joints when you move them. So, the more you walk, the more you lubricate your knees, hips, and ankles. That's why walking often helps reduce joint pain over time. Now, I'm not talking about power walking down the street like you're training for a marathon. I'm talking about a steady, gentle rhythm. A walk that respects your limits but doesn't let stiffness win. There's a woman named Diane, 75, who swore she'd never walk again after a bad knee injury. But with her doctor's encouragement, she started walking in a pool. Then on flat ground. Then around her block. She said, "I stopped waiting to feel better and started walking to feel better." That shift in mindset? That's what makes all the difference. And speaking of feeling better, let's talk about something we all want more of: energy. You'd think walking would wear you out. But for many seniors, the opposite is true. The more you move, the more natural energy you build. You breathe deeper. You sleep better. You digest your food more efficiently. Your muscles stay active. Your blood sugar doesn't crash. It's like your body says, "Thank you for waking me up." People sometimes assume fatigue is just part of aging. But often, it's not your age, it's your routine. A sedentary lifestyle slows everything down. Your metabolism, your circulation, even your mood. But adding a walk into your day, even 10 minutes, can completely change how your body functions. You might start noticing that you wake up easier. That you don't need as many naps. That you're more alert in the afternoon instead of dragging. That's not magic. That's movement. And your body craves it more than you realize. And here's something simple but powerful: walking gives your day structure. After retirement or a big life change, the hours can start to blur together. Days feel longer. Purpose feels harder to grasp. But when you have a walk scheduled, whether it's morning, midday, or just before sunset, it gives you something to look forward to. A little anchor in your routine. A reason to step outside and be part of the world again. One viewer once wrote, "Walking became my reset button after losing my husband. I couldn't sit in the quiet house all day. But the birds still chirped. The sky still changed colors. Life kept going, and I started going with it. That gave me chills. Because that's exactly what walking offers, a way to reconnect, not just with your health, but with your surroundings. You've made it this far, and if you're still with me, I know one thing for sure, a part of you is ready. Ready to move. Ready to feel better. Ready to take your well-being into your own hands. And now, it's time to talk about one more benefit of walking, one that doesn't get talked about often enough but might be the most important of all. Walking helps you live longer. Not in a magical, dramatic kind of way, but in a slow, steady, sustainable way. Multiple studies have shown that seniors who walk regularly, even just a few times a week, live longer, have fewer hospital visits, and enjoy a higher quality of life. Why? Because walking supports everything: your heart, lungs, brain, muscles, mood, digestion, and immune system. It lowers inflammation. It keeps your blood sugar in check. It even helps prevent cognitive decline and reduces the risk of depression. But beyond the science, there's something more personal. Walking gives you your life back, not just in years, but in moments. Moments like walking without fear of falling. Moments like being able to join your grandchildren on a short stroll through the park. Moments like waking up in the morning with a little more clarity, a little more ease, and a little more strength in your step. You might not feel it all at once. But one day, you'll realize you're not holding the handrail quite as tightly. You're not hesitating at the front door. You're not making excuses to stay inside. You're moving again. You're living again. And here's the truth: walking doesn't just make you stronger, it makes you braver. It reminds you that you're capable. That your age doesn't define you. That your body is still working with you, not against you. That every step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward freedom. Freedom from stiffness. Freedom from fear. Freedom from that voice that says, "It's too late for me." Because it's not. I've heard people in their 80s say walking saved their life, not just physically, but emotionally. They felt like they had something they could count on. A habit. A ritual. A quiet celebration of being alive. So let me ask you, right now, what would happen if you just started? Not next week. Not when the weather's better. Today. Even if it's just down the hallway and back. One step. That one step is enough. Because it leads to the next. And the next. And soon, your body starts remembering how good it feels to move. How natural it is. How deeply healing it can be. And you don't have to do it alone. Call a friend. Ask a neighbor. Walk your dog. Listen to your favorite music or podcast. Turn it into your time, your daily check-in with yourself. Even if you're walking slow, even if you stop to rest, even if you only go halfway, it counts. You're doing it. You're showing up for yourself. And that's what this channel and this community is all about. Because aging isn't about giving up, it's about showing up differently. It's not about being young again. It's about being stronger, wiser, and more intentional than ever before. And if this video gave you something, motivation, a reminder, a moment of clarity, I invite you to share it. Like the video. Leave a comment. Let others know what walking has done for you, or what step you're ready to take. You might inspire someone else to get off the couch, tie their shoes, and go for their first walk in years. All because you chose to keep moving. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more warm, practical, and encouraging videos just like this, made for you, with you in mind. Here's to strong